Hello once again to all of you dang ding-dongs. Back at it again with another episode of the Fantasy Simpletons Fantasy Football Show.
Yeah.
I am your host, Kyle Fridland. Joined with me, as always, is my brother and co-host, Jake Fridland. Jake, we are really getting into the weeds now.
Mm-hmm. We really are. Jeez.
We're doing it.
Yep. It's coming up, man. September is on its way. Crazy.
We were talking about some of the things we wanted to do, and we thought we should get some rankings done.
Yeah.
For this first video here, we're going to talk about running back rankings, specifically our top 25 running backs. Now, the way we did this was Jake made his own list of top 25. I made my own list. And through a process of combining the two with a point system that I came up with, we have a combined top 25 running back rankings list. Mm-hmm. We will go through them from the top down of starting at number 25, going all the way down to number 1. Jake, anything you want to add before we get started here?
No, it's pretty much the gist, man.
Yeah.
Without doing the gist.
It created some interesting rankings here and there, and we're going to talk about them as we go along.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And without further ado, let's do it. We are starting with number 25 through number 21. We have Jordan Mason, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, Caleb Johnson, and Isaiah Pacheco. Jake, is there anyone on this list that stands out to you that you want to talk about?
I mean, there's a few guys on this list, but there's one that I'm really high on and I think has more potential to kind of break these rankings, and that's Caleb Johnson. You know, the rookie in this list here. I think he just has the potential to come on the scene in Pittsburgh and just kind of be the guy, be the new Najee. And I don't really see Warren holding him back all too much. So really high on Caleb Johnson personally. But I think he makes sense for this list. There's a lot of good running backs.
Yeah.
This year, honestly. And I personally don't like that Isaiah Pacheco is right above Caleb Johnson. But, that's just me. We can combine these lists. And I think mine was, I had him. Actually, I don't know. I can't remember exactly where I had Pacheco. It was right around here.
If I can add in some insight there, the reason where Caleb Johnson is where he is because you had him ranked a little high. I didn't have him actually on my list. And the reason for that was because I was kind of picky with certain running back committees, especially if it's certain guys in a committee that don't have the pass catching work. Mm-hmm. But I do think you make a great point where it's, he's trying to be the new Najee. If he can work to that point, then yeah, I could see him absolutely making the top 25 and sneaking into the top 20 or even further.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I agree. There's some challenges he has to go through to get there. Just with Warren being there and everything. Definitely not like some of the other rookies that we have on this list who have more streamlined paths to success that we'll talk about later.
Yeah. I also want to bring up Isaiah Pacheco since you just mentioned his name. I've been starting to turn a corner on him in the last couple weeks. I think now that he's going to be fully healthy coming off that broken leg from last season, I think he'll have a better chance to establish himself against guys that are currently there like Kareem Hunt or Isaiah Mitchell or lower depth guys like Rashard Smith. I think this is the season. It's make or break because it's the final year of his contract.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to, run the same way he always does with as much force and power as possible and just throw his body out there.
Yeah, he definitely needs to prove himself this year to get that extension.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see him being a guy that rises up. Um, but I think he fits right in there. I wasn't very high on DeAndre. I don't even think I had him on my list. Pretty sure I
Yeah,
didn't.
this was because I had him I think he was 21 on my list.
Yeah, and for me, it was just because of things that happened to him in the past. Some injury concerns, and he's just been on different teams.
Yeah.
Um, and also, I just think the Bears are kind of stacked. There's just a lot going on there. A lot of wide receivers. Caleb Williams is interesting, but has been underwhelming. And I just don't really like the Bears personally, but
Yeah.
as an offense, but I could see him being here, DeAndre. So
I think he's got massive opportunity. I think
definitely,
being in a
it's,
best
the
Ben
opportunity's
Johnson
there.
offense, and it doesn't really
Mhm.
seem like a committee right now either.
Yeah, definitely.
So, so I think that's where my ranking come in. Uh, I anything on Tony Pollard or Jordan Mason before we move on?
Um, Jordan Mason is interesting. You know, we talked about this privately, like before we started filming, but
Yeah,
um, we had a few guys that we were considering for that 25 spot,
Zach
and
Charbonnet, R.J. Harvey.
yeah, and we landed on Jordan Mason. Um, my thoughts on that were just because he's really going to be sharing a backfield with one of the older guys in the NFL in Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
And I think his upside is just a little bit higher given the fact that they might, start to transition Aaron out, um, on top of the fact that he gets injuries, almost every year. There's just a decent amount of upside there, and Jordan Mason, showed to be a pretty good runner last year on the Niners. So uh, that was my reasoning. Did you have anything different?
no, I think that's
Mm.
actually a good point. I was debating whether to have him on my list or not because I wasn't sure how the Aaron Jones split was going to work. But he definitely has the most potential for touchdowns. He's definitely going to be the goal line guy over Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
But I think that works out perfectly fine. I think we should move on here to numbers 20 through 16. And the way this shook out was that we got Brees Hall, Trevion Henderson, Kenneth Walker, James Conner, and
Mhm.
Chuba Hubbard. I want to first talk about, well, we've talked about him a few times before, but Trevion Henderson has been rising up significantly. I think this is the right placement for him. I think right in the top 20, in the lower bits around 20 to 18, I think that's probably where he should be.
Mhm.
He's still going to be in a bit of a committee with Ramondre Stevenson to start the season. You talk about deals being a sign of a team wanting to work with the player. Ramondre still has a long term deal. They signed him to one last season, so they aren't getting rid of him just yet.
Right.
So I think Travion Henderson's going to show a lot of upside. He's going to have a lot of big playability. He kind of feels like Tony Pollard was when he was in Dallas. Him and
Mm.
Ezekiel Elliott. That's kind of what it feels like right now.
Yeah. Kind of the younger guy, younger, speedier, um,
Explosive.
explosive guy kind of coming on the scene. We could see, yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see that dynamic. And I know they're going to use him in a lot of different ways from what um, you know, from what they've been talking about. And I think, yeah, I think he's definitely a guy that could raise higher on this list depending on what happens. You know, I also really like the way we have Kenneth, James, and then Chuba. I'm really liking that little stretch right there.
It's a great set of guys. I like them too.
Yeah, and I think it just makes sense that those guys are like right next to each other because they all are great running backs in and of themselves, right?
Yeah.
It's just more of a like injury concern slash team um usage situation. Okay.
Yeah.
Injury concerns obviously for James Conner and Kenneth Walker, and Chuba Hubbard is on the Panthers. Though I think that could be good for him. This could be a great year for Chuba Hubbard. And that's why I like him over these guys
Yeah.
personally.
I had Chuba Hubbard in or Chuba. I
Chuba,
had him
yeah,
yeah.
I remember saying that wrong.
I had him in a couple different leagues as well, and I was
Yeah,
so shocked at how consistent he was
yeah.
when he was given that opportunity. And I think him being 16 is pretty much like right where he's going to be. He's not going to be one of the star running backs,
Mhm.
but I think he's going to be a very like solid, reliable option. As
Yeah.
far as James Conner, um, last season it's a slight dip from where he was last season. I remember he was around like number 12, kind of in that area. But I also did see last season as it was easily his best year that he's probably had as a pro. And I think
Mhm.
it's going to be hard to replicate, especially if they decide they want to incorporate a little bit more of Trey Benson in this season.
Yes. Yeah, that is a tough one. If he can replicate his usage and production from last season, then I
He'll be good to
mean,
go.
he'll be so good to go, and he'd probably be higher in this list, but
Yeah.
um just given the injury concerns and the the split backfield potential usage, it's a bit harder to rank him above other guys.
Yeah. And injury concerns. Dude, I wish I could put Kenneth Walker higher than I did
Dude,
on
I
my
know.
list, but it's hard, man. He has all the
Yeah,
talent. He's such a talented running back,
yeah,
but injury concerns are real.
they
And there
are.
is more and more talk and more excitement around Zach Charbonnet now than
Yeah.
in previous seasons.
Mhm. Yeah, that's just it. Him and James Conner, honestly, in like almost an identical um perspective,
Yeah.
right?
Kind of
Given
situation
both of
together.
those things. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, I mean, talent wise, Kenneth, man, if that dude stayed healthy, I think Charbonnet would not be breathing down his neck as much,
Yeah.
and he'd just be pretty elite. Um,
He still
but
has elite upside, but a lot
he
has to go his
definitely
way.
does. He's definitely a sleeper guy, and this is the year he needs to prove himself
Yeah.
to get that contract extension last year of his deal, rookie deal. Same with Charbonnet. So
Yeah. And then at the very end of the list is Brees Hall. And I don't know. I I'm not even excited to really talk about Brees Hall.
yeah, I feel like we had to throw him in here,
Yeah.
just because of how he's been in the past, um, in past seasons. But if we take last year, for example, um, I don't even know if we should have ranked him this high in the list, to be honest.
I think he'll still fall here.
Yeah,
Justin Fields is lacking of weapons, and Brees Hall's a pass catching
that's
back.
true.
There's going to be a lot of throws to him in the backfield.
Oh yeah. I just think that that team is so rough,
Yeah.
and I've been hearing so many good things about Braylon Allen and
They want to make it
potentially,
a committee.
yep, making it a committee, and that just hurts. It hurts his stock, man. It's
Dude,
tough.
it absolutely does.
Yeah.
But Hey, Brees Hall, if you don't like that, prove us wrong.
Yeah,
Prove us
exactly.
wrong, man. And
Definitely.
now, as the list goes further, there's going to be some more interesting little tidbits here of how we rank things a little differently. We're going to get into 15 through 11, which we had Alvin Kamara, Amarian Hampton, James Cook, Devon Achane, and Kyron Williams. I
Hmm.
think we need to talk about Devon Achane first
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
our rankings for him were wildly different. I
Hmm.
had him ranked at number 7 overall. Jake had him ranked all the way at number 15 overall. So I have my own thoughts. I'll let Jake go first
You want
on
me to go first?
yeah.
All right.
Because I'm genuinely curious. I do want to hear.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, here's the deal. I think Devon is very similar to Kenneth Walker in terms of um, they both get injured. Okay, Devon is a smaller guy. All right.
Yeah.
Um, he's struggled with injuries throughout his college career, uh, into the NFL, obviously. Um, and they have formidable backups to step in, and Jalen Wright and Ollie Gordon, just in case something happens to Achan. I don't think I think that he's a pivotal part of the offense. Okay, and I think that's why I can understand you ranking him so high. Like they feed him the ball and he does good work. He's super speedy. But I just with the injuries, with the injury concern, and um, well, that's really my biggest thing is the
Yeah.
injury concern.
No, I see that.
And so that's kind of why I had him lower on my list. Um, like I think there's more upside personally with like with guys like Alvin Kamara, and I wouldn't put him over Hampton, but I don't know. I'm more of a guy that's into tough, like heavy hitting running backs.
Just like
And
run it down your throat
yeah,
sort of.
run it down and you know, don't, you know, uh don't nag about certain small injuries or whatever. I mean, I
Mhm.
get that you want to do that to avoid any further injuries, but like I feel like he's one of those guys. And um, you know, I do really like him though, but that's just me. Now, I want to hear what you have to say though.
I think you make good points. I think you do make good points about injury concerns and guys right behind him that might be willing or want to step in. Uh, I think when I just looked back at it, originally I had him ranked a little lower, too. I think I had him like ranked near top 10. But then I looked back at what he did last season. When he is healthy, when he
Mhm.
is on the field, he's an absolute dominator. He is a dual threat running back. He does run and catch passes out of the
Yeah,
backfield.
for
He
sure.
was one of the featured parts of their offense after Tyreek Hill went down.
Mhm.
Specifically, I looked at his finishes, and there were so many finishes last year of him finishing top 5 that week consistently. So I think I looked at him from an upside point. If he's healthy, you've got like a genuine star number one running back. But I totally understand the scariness of the injury side of things
Yeah,
because it's one of the reasons why personally I don't like drafting Devon A. Chan, but I have to
mm,
acknowledge the talent where it is.
sure. Sure. Hey, I am totally with you. Um, but yeah, I'm totally with you. And I
Yeah.
think that the guys behind him don't really pose much of a threat. Okay. Unless something happens. It's not like a scenario where they're trying to split the backfield or anything.
No.
I don't really think that's not the case. That hasn't shown to be the case. It's just an injury concern thing. But yeah, if he could stay healthy, man, I think this spot is actually definitely more accurate to where he should be, for sure.
Yeah, I can see that. It's a meeting of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've already talked about James Cook and Kyron Williams. The way this ranked out, they could have been ranked maybe slightly higher, but I think most people would agree they're somewhere between
Hmm.
7 to 12 ish.
Yeah.
That's kind of where their ceiling and floor is.
Yeah.
Uh, we can talk about. You did talk about Alvin Kamara a little bit, how he's different from Devon Achan as sort of this safe, old, reliable. You know what you're gonna get out of him when you have him.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that's my kind of running back. And I think um we were talking a little bit about James Conner, right?
Yeah,
And about how he gets injured, but he produces, man. Like I think Alvin is like a James Conner, but he just doesn't go down very easily. Like this man is crazy. Um he's just a crazy like through the middle guy. Awesome on the outside, amazing pass catcher. I think that's one of the abilities that sets him apart from others is
yeah.
his pass catching ability. And as old as he is, he doesn't have much competition behind him. Like there's Kendre Miller
Yeah.
and Devin Neal, but I mean, those guys, it's like a world of difference when you put those guys in um, versus Alvin Kamara when he's healthy. So, I mean, always been a fan of him. I think he's just stellar.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just tough, like to put him this far down for me because I feel like his upside is still there. I don't see what's gonna slow him down. You know, their passing game is trash on the team. Their quarterbacks are not great. Like, so they're gonna run the ball. I just think it's an overall thing that works in Alvin's favor. So yeah,
this
I like
this
him. I think he should be a little bit higher than this, but yeah.
yeah. I think this might be weird to say, but is it weird to say that his biggest positive is the team's trust in him? Because I don't. I
Mm.
think there are a lot of running backs around this area or further back in him on our list that are more talented than Alvin Kamara is right now. But one thing you can't deny is the team still trusts him. The
Mhm.
team they still sign him to new deals every couple of years. They keep him around, and when he's there, they just give him the ball.
Yeah.
They just always give him as much touches as they feel like they need to.
Exactly.
I think that's his biggest upside as he's starting to
Mhm.
like move out of his prime here.
Yeah, I think he's on the right team for him,
Yeah.
and he has been. Um, but I think if he was, do you think things would change if he was younger? Like, would he be higher on this list
Yeah,
for you?
absolutely. I think I've seen some play, I've seen some him in games to know where it's like, okay, he had a bit more. There was a bit more juice a few seasons ago,
Hmm.
but he's still at a position now where if the team still gives him the ball enough, I'll still be somewhat safe. It's just still a little concerning in the sense that you don't want to get got. There's gonna be a season where he's gonna fall, and
Yeah,
you don't want to be the guy that gets the guy that loses it.
that's fair. That's always been in the back of my mind too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then outside of that, I think the last person is Amarian Hampton, who I think this is fairly ranked. I think when Najee Harris comes back, he'll still take some touches. They still invested a bit in him,
Mhm.
but until he comes back, this is Amarian Hampton's backfield. He's got all the reps, he's got all the practice. If he's as good as what they believe he is coming out of the draft, it shouldn't be a problem for him to make the top 15.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt. He is going to be such a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
Like his rankings, I think he's one of the guys in this list that can just totally surpass where he is now. Or honestly, maybe be underwhelming, but um, the upside is there for him to go. It's just it's always tough ranking rookies like
Yeah,
higher than some of these proven guys, you know? And I think that's just his case here.
I think that says it all right there. I think we'll just have to wait and see on him. All right, we're in the top 10 now. These are the running back ones. These are the guys you get at the start of your drafts. We're going to start through 10 through 6. We have Ashton Genty, Jonathan Taylor, Bucky
Mhm.
Irving, Josh Jacobs, Chase Brown. I think
Dang.
it's fair to start off with we were just talking about a rookie running back. Let's talk about Genty.
Mhm.
Coming in here, I had him at number 8. You had him outside the top 10. This brought him right at number 10. I think this should be where most people should expect him to be.
Yeah, I agree. He's I mean, he's an S tier running back in a in a stacked rookie running back draft. We've talked about this before, right?
Yeah. I mean,
It's
what can we say about
hard.
Ashton Genty that hasn't been said?
Exactly. Yeah. You've heard it all. Like, obviously, this guy is supposed to be the guy.
Yeah.
So, um, I think I think there's just when you put him in line with everyone else, okay, all the other running backs, it is just that same thing we were talking about with Amarion. Like, until it's done on an NFL field, we can't truly know,
No.
you know, especially with Ashton coming um out of Boise and not playing with the top of the top competition
That's very
in
fair.
in college. I think that's one of the things that people have been saying. Um, and you know, but outside of that, he could he's also one that could easily skyrocket on this list, right?
Easily. I think that comes down to two factors. It's how much passing work he gets
Hmm.
on how much they utilize him there and how good the Raiders' offensive line is. Those are
Oh
the
yeah.
two main factors that decide if he is right on the edge or outside the top 10 or top
Hmm.
5.
Yes. Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah, but we'll just have to wait and see on that.
Yeah.
Some of the other guys, I actually want to talk about Josh Jacobs.
Yeah,
I
let's do
had
it.
him ranked outside my top 10. Jake,
Hmm.
you had him ranked number 4. And not
Yeah.
that that's like an amazing pick, but it's not something you usually see. Uh, how high are you on Josh Jacobs this season?
Dude, I am high on Josh Jacobs.
Mm,
I guess. I think it's tough when you look at how well he did last year.
yeah,
Um, talking about elite pass catching guy, Josh Jacobs is I think just he's another guy that just works so well with the team that he has, you know. If he was on a different team, I think it'd be different. And if he was still on the Raiders, I don't think I'd have him that high.
yeah.
But he's not on the Raiders. He's on a great Green Bay offense, who really wants to use him. Okay, there's really no one behind him, in terms of depth chart, for running backs on Green Bay, and I don't know. I just really believe that he's gonna have a similar year to what he did last year. Um, and kind of given the interesting wide receiver group that Green Bay has, I think they're just going to rely on him a little bit more, to keep that production going. Well, what do you think?
I because I can't dispute anything that you said. I
Mm,
think what just had him ranked down for me is that I just don't know how much of last season he's going to repeat.
mhm.
Maybe in terms of like how many touchdowns he had or how much of a focal point of the offense it was. Because
Yeah.
I think halfway into the season, they transitioned into more of a run first team when it seemed like they were going to be a
Mm,
pass first team for so long.
sure.
Uh, I think he's still going to be a great running back. I think he's still going to get great work and they'll use him quite a bit. Maybe, and even now that I think about it, I should have maybe put him a little bit higher, but I think he'll just do slightly less than what he did last season. And
Mm.
sometimes when you get that like 8 to 12 setup, usually there's very little that separates number 8 from number 12. And maybe that's what led me to the ranking I gave him.
Fair enough. I agree with that. I agree. I think he should be ahead of Chase Brown, I'll tell you that much,
Yeah.
personally.
The Chase Brown one was funny because you had him ranked number 9. I had him ranked number 6. Somehow with our setup, it somehow still kept him at number 6. I don't know how that happened. For me, I love it, but I get if you're not as high on him as I am because I'm super high on Chase Brown.
Yeah, and I am high on him, but I think when you compare him to guys that um are just more a little bit more elite than him as a prospect, as a player, you start getting into like usage, right?
Yeah,
And if the Bengals are going to use him more than they did last year, is he going to produce more than he did last year, or are they just going to use him more? Like, these are the questions you have to think about. And for me, I think it's probably going to be a little bit of both, obviously.
yeah,
I think they'll probably use him more, but I'm not sure how much more production he could attain. Um,
that's very. I actually, yeah, that's a very good point.
yeah, I just think like I don't know. It's just tough for me to put him above Josh Jacobs, like um, given what they've done in the past. And I could see Chase doing really well moving forward, but um, if Josh even has um like 75% of what he did last year, then I think he's going to be above Chase Brown,
Who
personally.
would you rather have, Chase Brown or Bucky Irving?
That is tough.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's tough because they're both in very similar positions.
Hmm.
They're both kind of still proving themselves as like, am I elite or am I just
Really, really good.
really good? Yeah, like that's the thing. I think so many people are high on Bucky. I think I would be lean more towards Chase Brown just because of how how much more we've seen from him. It was Bucky's first year last year.
Yeah.
So it's tough to tell if he's going to step it up this year. Um, or I don't know. I don't know. It's a
I
good
know.
it they're really close, I think.
I asked this because we had our mock draft episode not too long ago where I took Bucky Irving. But then even when we looked back at the end of it, I'm like, maybe I should have gone with Chase Brown. Like I'm still in my mind. This might be a question for me because I'm still in my mind deciding which of those two would I rather have. I think right now, because I'm so high on Chase Brown, I'd take
Mm,
Chase. But I
yeah,
still think Bucky is going to be very good this season.
I agree. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that about does it there. We can get into the final five right now.
let's
These
do
are the
it.
top five. And let's be honest, These are probably the top five that are pretty much mocked everywhere you see them. This is pretty
Mhm.
much how it gets ranked out. Number five, Derrick Henry. Number four, Christian McCaffrey. Number three, Saquon Barkley. Number two, Bijan Robinson. And number one, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Mhm.
Me and Jake both had Jahmyr Gibbs ranked at number one, which is so interesting
Yeah,
because
I thought so too.
technically, he comes in a committee.
Mhm.
Technically, it's a 1-2 punch. Why are you so high on Jahmyr Gibbs as much as I am? That he is the number one running back, even with David Montgomery still there.
Dude, it's because of the Lions offense, man.
Yes,
I think they're kind of an anomaly offense for like fantasy wise, but just I don't know. Like it's just every one of their guys is so good. And I think that it's always been kind of a 1-2 punch with Jahmyr Gibbs and um, David Montgomery in the past couple seasons at least, right?
yeah,
Since Jahmyr Gibbs came in, they started splitting, and I think more and more, I think the offense is leaning towards um, giving Jahmyr the ball because it's just magic in his hands, man.
it's just unbelievable when he
Like, and
plays.
it is crazy because like they're both so good with the ball. Um, but you pair like the best speed, I think, for running back and power, and I think that's Jahmyr Gibbs. I just think he's great and in a great situation personally. So yeah.
I think he's one of the best running backs there are of like the last 5 to 10 years. I think if David Montgomery wasn't there, if we went into a season where Jahmyr Gibbs was the starter full out for a full 16 games, no injuries, he would have the same season that Saquon Barkley just had.
Mm,
I think he can reach 2,000 yards. I think he can get up to 20 touchdowns. I think he would have one of the most magical NFL seasons.
mm,
Him behind that O line, it would just be unbelievable. And it really does say something too, considering how much they work Montgomery in. A guy who I also
exactly.
a guy who
Exactly.
I also considered for top 25.
Yes, same
Yeah.
here. It
It
it it shows so much um that he's able to produce at such a high level with another guy
yeah.
next to him. Like it's just insane. I think I forgot to mention this too. Like I just think his vision on the field is crazy.
Yeah. It's
Like
wild.
it is wild how he can just I don't know, make his way through the defense and make these quick cuts and just kind of see where he's gonna go. It's like I don't know. They're the best 1-2 punch in the NFL.
By
But
Sonic and Knuckles.
oh yeah, for sure. And I do think that people are sleeping on David Montgomery. At the same time, like it's for good reason because he is getting a little bit older, and I think it's just tough when every time Jameer gets the ball, he does something great with it. So it's like,
Yeah.
why not give him the ball more? you know?
It's also important to consider with Ben Johnson no longer around. I know they said they would
Mm,
keep the same offense, but they used David Montgomery in such a pattern specific way.
mm,
If they decide to mess with that pattern in any way, maybe take away some of those goal line carries, or instead of just using him solely for like the first drive every game, maybe they give him a little less snaps every time. It's only going to make Jahmyr Gibbs that much more valuable.
Hmm.
But you know what's interesting, Jake? If I were in a position to take the first running back off the board, I don't know if I would take Jahmyr Gibbs first. I might take Bijan Robinson. And this is only because I
Yeah.
think he's the safest running back pick.
Hmm.
Even though we have him ranked as number 2, and we can see Jahmyr Gibbs with an even higher ceiling for this season, Bijan Robinson, he's yet to get injured. He
Yes.
produces almost the same in every game. You know
Mhm.
exactly what you're going to get out of him, and he's going to be one of the top running backs.
Yeah. And there's no competition in the backfield, right?
Yeah, they
There's
they wanted it to be, but they've realized Bijan's too talented to keep him off the field.
totally, totally. And I think um with Michael Penix in too, since this will really be his first year kind of going for it, I can see him really relying on Bijan um to kind of be his help,
Yeah.
and help him navigate the offense. So yeah, I think it's obvious that Bijan and Jameer are the top two. Um, I'd really be surprised if anyone thought anything else. You can make the case for any of these guys really in that number one spot, but
Yeah.
it's uh it's it's tough a tough competition between Jameer and Bijan, especially given that the young, like ripe age that they are.
Oh, they're in their
It's
prime.
it's the perfect breakout age.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in their prime.
We can very quickly go over the last 3 here. Saquon, I think we can all acknowledge the talent in the offense, but I think we can all also expect he's probably not going to rush for 2,000 yards again. That's just
Mhm.
such a statistical anomaly.
Yeah.
So having him ranked number 3 near the top 10 if he doesn't get injured makes the most sense.
Mhm.
Christian McCaffrey will be one of the top running backs if he stays healthy. It's just that simple.
Yes.
I don't care what his age is. He's not at the age yet where he's going to get ruined in any sort of way. Same with Henry. It doesn't matter what Henry's age is. He's proven time and time again age
Yeah,
doesn't matter
he's an
when you're the
anomaly
king.
for sure. He
Yeah.
is an anomaly. I don't know how
And
else to
he'll
say.
be I don't know if he'll get 1900 rushing yards again, but he's going to get all the touches. He's going to get the touchdown work. He's going to be fine.
For sure.
We all know it.
Oh yeah.
But I think that about covers it.
Yeah.
We got
All
through it. We got
25.
through our top 25 running backs.
Very nice.
It
I'm
was
glad we
very nice.
got to talk through that. Kind
Yeah,
of
I'm actually happy with the
hash it
list.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually a good list. I think there's some interesting parts.
Yeah.
Um, but overall, I think it's going to be really fun to like kind of compare how our rankings, matched up with how the season actually goes.
We're
It really could be all over the place.
It
I'd
could.
be very surprised if we accurately predicted
Even
everything.
though technically it's a combination of our lists.
Hmm,
Yeah.
true.
But we'll have to see. And hey, if you feel like we left a running back that should have been on the top 25, let us know. Tell us.
Yeah,
Please. Leave it in the comments. Let us
for sure.
know if there's anybody, Zach Charbonnet, RJ Harvey. There's plenty of names that I considered that did not make my
Hmm,
25.
yeah.
But that about does it for us here today. Again, follow us on Instagram, X, TikTok. Listen to us on
Mhm.
Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Jake, anything you want to say before we go off the air?
Uh, nah, man. Just about covered it. Like and subscribe. Appreciate you
Yeah,
guys.
please
Tune in.
engage.
Yes, and definitely tune in to our next episodes. We're gonna have some fun ones coming out. So yeah.
We got more rankings coming out. We got more content than ever. Stay tuned. In a complex world, Just stay simple.